Let's talk about your why and pricing handmade items. So, I listened to a really good podcast today by The Sip. I'll put the link to the show in the show notes here. But it was a great episode talking about the ethics of staying open for businesses. So, when times get tough, do you have a product that is doing something meaningful? You have something that is really valued, that is important. It's important to your community, it's important to your customers, and even though times are hard, it's important for you to stay open because what you have is of such high value that you need to continue to offer it even when things are getting lean. It was a very interesting conversation. Again, I'll put the notes in the comments here, but it got me thinking about quite a few things. And one of those is the ethics of what we do in Main Street and how we stay open. So we're a startup, right? I haven't taken a paycheck yet. Which is fine because what we're doing is important. What we're doing for the handmade community in Mississippi is important because this is a population, a community of makers and artisans who are often undervalued and unseen. So a lot of that value and a lot of that perceived undervaluedness comes when we talk about pricing handmade items. So when you go to a market, and I'm sure people have been there, you're going to see a vast array of prices, right? You're going to have some of the products that, let's just say earrings, for example, right? You're going to have some that are maybe $5 to $10 to buy a pair of earrings. You're going to have other ones that are $25, $30, $40. And you might say, hey, why is there such a discrepancy, right? And it comes down to a few things. One, why are people making it? Are they making these items because it is something that they enjoy doing and they want to share it with the world? That's one possible avenue. Or is it because they're making it because they just want to turn a dollar, right? So for those businesses who are really in it, and you see this more in corporations, right, than the handmade community, a lot of corporations are in it just to make a dollar. So they do a lot of analysis, they do a lot of competition analysis, price analysis, and they figure out what that price point is to move product and to get it out, whether it's quality or not. They will do it to move product. In the handmade community, people do it and they make products that are high value, that are quality, because they care about the product that they're putting into their customers' hands. When you find a soap maker, their why is usually because they made it because they had some sort of skin condition or a family member had a skin condition and regular commercial soaps were simply agitating it or they weren't helping it. And so they did the research and they found out, hey, if I use these products, right, Country Lather Soap Works is a great example. This is what Jessie did. She started making goat milk soap because her skin was always irritated. And this was something her mother would make and it helped her out a lot. And so now she does it and she's become very successful with it, which is fantastic. But her why has stayed the same and her product quality has stayed the same. She doesn't compromise. If she makes a new line, like now she's also got tallow-based soaps, she does that because she found that, hey, these also work for other people with other skin types, or this is also beneficial. And so she provided options, but she's still providing value. And her price point, between $6 to $8 for a bar of soap, some people might kind of scoff at because you can go to Walmart or whatever store and get a bar of soap for $2, $1, whatever. But your skin's going to be irritated. When you get Jessie's, what you're doing is you're investing in a maker, in a Mississippi maker in particular, who has taken the time, who has gotten herself educated on all of the science behind it, and she's a one-woman show. So she has overhead to pay for. She's got to feed her family too. And for her to produce at the level that she does, her price point's slightly higher. There's nothing wrong with that. And if she didn't price herself accordingly, she's really doing herself a disservice and she wouldn't make it. She would not be able to sustain this business if she didn't price herself in a manner that was, one, consumers will pay for, which they do, and one that would actually allow her to continue this because she has to be able to feed her family, right? So in the handmade community, I can't tell you how many times, and my kids have done one market, right? They're the tween space on Main Street Collective. I let them price their own products. They figure it out. If they price stuff and it's not moving, maybe they'll kind of change the prices, see what happens, et cetera, but they're learning. And for us, hey, mom and dad are funding it. It's not a big deal. This is a learning opportunity for an 11, a 9, and a 5-year-old, right? But for other folks, if you see a set of earrings that are $18, $20 and they're handmade and they're, hand clayed or acrylic or whatever, a maker took time, right? Their time is money as well, just like it is at whatever normal day job that somebody might have. You would never go into Target, into their jewelry section and look at their jewelry and say, hey, I don't think this is worth $15. Can I give you $8 for it instead? Yet I saw adults do this to my children at a vendor market. Hey, I don't think that this toy, right, this fidget toy is worth $5. How about $3 instead? And I get it, right? Bartering is a thing, it's a process, it's a practice, but the perception that handmade items aren't quality is completely wrong, because if any products on the market, the ones that you're going to find the most quality are the people who did it because their why was because they were solving a problem for themselves or for someone else, or they have art that is a part of them that they want to share and they want to monetize it because they want to get it out into the public and they enjoy doing it. And why would you not want to make a living doing something that you enjoy? So for the handmade artists, for the makers out there, do not undervalue your work. Remember your why, focus on your why, and price yourself accordingly because you're worth it. And for those of you who go and meet these makers and have conversations with them, understand that they have this value and don't try to undercut them on it. And if people do, makers, they simply aren't your customer and they're allowed to walk away and you don't have to sell to them. It's 100% okay. So if you are a maker, one of the things on Main Street Collective is we always will talk with you about your pricing points. We'll give you feedback on, hey, this is the price point. This is what we're seeing on the site. Maybe you might want to consider lowering it or sometimes upping it, right? Because people do have this weird mental thing where if it's too inexpensive, people don't find value in it. Whereas when you price it higher, sometimes they find more value. So if you're a maker in Mississippi and you want to join us at Main Street Collective, I would love to have you. Please reach out. But regardless, check out this podcast because it was really good by the SIP, and I hope that you enjoy.